Hello and welcome to another Midnight Showings. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Unbroken on this wonderful Christmas day with my family, who did not want to be in this video. For those that see the irony of my shirt on Christmas Day, good for you. No one up there did. So I'm going to try to keep this one short. This film was pretty good. It tells the life story of a soldier, Louis Zeppini, something like that. I don't know. It was Italian. It tells the life story, not the life story, but his story in World War II of everything he had to survive and get through and whatnot. It was. So he's an Olympic athlete who, when World War II started, he ended up joining the Air Force and getting stationed out in Hawaii, going on combat mission after combat mission, and then finally on a rescue mission, the plane breaks down and they crash into the ocean. He's one of the few survivors. After 2 months, almost 2 months at sea, they are found and captured by the Japanese, and he's put into an internment camp where he's basically singled out and tortured for the rest of the movie and book. And it's just showing what this guy can go through and what he did go through. And the movie literally ends with showing the real Louis Sabini going through what happened afterwards, who he married, what's going on. It was a good movie. I don't know if this was Angelina's directorial debut, but I'm pretty sure it is. And for a first directed movie, she did a wonderful job. It was very well presented. There were a few things that kind of felt, There was a couple of inaccuracies in the way that Japanese torture happens. When you've seen enough anime as I have, or any Japanese cinema and things, you just notice like little nuanced things that don't really make sense. Like, why the hell did Bird keep a kempo stick with him at all times? So he could hit the soldiers and break noses? Okay. It's just like little nuanced things that I'm not sure how accurate they are. I mean, for all I know, this could be 100% accurate and whatnot, and I could be completely spitballing, but there are just so many little touches here and there that make you scratch your head. They could be just director's choice. They could have been something that the writer of the book that this is based off of embellished and whatnot, or it could have been that they all really happened and I'm saying nothing. I don't know, but as someone who has seen other forms of media, they make me tilt my head a lot. More on to the good. The acting on this one was pretty stellar across the board. I had a problem with a couple of the other soldiers he runs into in the camps and he's stationed with in Hawaii. They just didn't seem like they cared all that much. I mean, good God, your plane is crashing. Your plane is crashing. You're probably not going to make it into the next scene. Emote? Show panic? Fear? Something? I don't know. But other than just a few people who just seemed really out of place, acting was good across the board. I'm trying to think of anything that's really stood out to me that was really, really good. Well, this movie is not something that most people are going to go see. This is for an older generation. When me and my family were literally the youngest people inside of the theater, it was pretty bad. We had a pretty packed theater, and the five of us, six, because my brother brought his girlfriend, the six of us were the youngest in the theater, and it really did kind of show. The movie style, it's just not for my generation. And there are exceptions like me who like this kind of stuff. But yeah, if you're not a big fan of these wartime movies, or more specifically these biography movies about people you've never heard of, yeah, you're not going to care about this at all. And it's really sad because the movie wasn't that bad. I'm not going to say that it's up there with the greats. I mean, if I were to put this against a very similar movie, Fury, which takes place basically in the same general time period, just one's talking about the Pacific theater, one's talking about the European theater, Fury was better. Why? Because it had a sense that it was a movie. And although, yeah, that was Oscar fodder, and all my ranting stuff I did in my other videos still stand, but if I were to put these on a pedestal next to each other, which one's better? Fury wins. By a long shot. It was just much more entertaining, and you could tell that the director had a lot more idea of what he was doing. Although this is a very good first piece, it's still Angelina Jolie's first, or at least maybe second or third. You can tell that she just wasn't, that things just aren't as clean inside this film. Some of the edits don't work. Some of the dialogue sounds forced across the board. And I don't want to talk bad about this movie because it's not a bad movie. But compared to other things that I've seen this year, just this year in general, this doesn't hold up as well. I'm not disappointed. I'm glad I saw it. I don't think I'll ever see it again, though. Was it worth seeing in theaters? Kinda, maybe. It had a lot of really, really good elements. There's a really good moment where the POW camp is being attacked. Well, not the POW camp, but the town that it's next to is being attacked by the Allied forces. They have to, but some of the bombs and shrapnel thing are still hitting the POW camp. So all the soldiers that are kept there have to get out there with buckets and start putting out fires and things. That's probably the highlight of this film. I know that a lot of people would like to say that it's him holding the board up and closer to the third act, but no, that's the highlight of the film. And from there, it kind of just meanders and dips. You could call this torture the movie. I'm not saying it was torture porn. I'm not saying it's like Saw graphic or anything like that. But no, once he gets inside the internment camps, Louis, there's a guy, the leader of the internment camp, they call him the Bird, Sergeant Watanabe, I think is what his name was. Anyway, he singles out Louis and beats the living crap out of him for seemingly no reason. I kept trying to figure out what was going on. He kept calling him his friend, but he beat him up. He kept doing all this other crap. It just didn't make sense. Was this in the book? Was it explained in the book? Did they completely gut him? I don't know. But they don't tell you anything, and the only clue you get to his behavior through the whole movie is this end shot after everything is basically resolved, where Louis goes into his office and finds a picture of him and his dad. He had a hard father, I guess? And yeah, he singles out Louis and he beats the living crap out of him with a freaking Kenbo stick. The whole movie. Breaks his nose. He marches him around. He makes him carry a board when he can't and hold it over his head. And if he drops it, he gets shot. It gets to the point where he finally breaks down and just beats the living crap out of him with his fist. I mean, why? I'm amazed that Louis can survive all of this, and that was the focus of that scene. But there's always that part nagging at me. It's like, why the hell is Bird doing this? And it's never even hinted at inside of it. You're just supposed to assume he's crazy? This isn't the way. When I was taught history in all of my classes, in my AP, and in my college stuff, the Japanese soldiers are the most honorable soldiers out there. I'll admit that there are always going to be exceptions to that rule, but there was a painted picture in my mind of how they generally act. And this guy didn't fit even one small iota of what that was. His guards did. He didn't. And it was just so far out of there that one of the other guards would have called him out on this. If this really happened, I'm sure that one of the other guards would have said he might be overstepping his bounds. Just maybe. We don't want to kill them. They're free labor. We're using them to to ship all of our coal out through the barges and the train system. Do we really want to keep doing this to him? It's just one of those ones that's just... My only problem with it is basically him. It didn't make any sense in the context of the film, and it just screams, read the book. Read the book. And I don't like it when they do that. Adaptations have to be different, I understand. I get this is based off of a true story. I get that. But you still need to give us some semblance of understanding. It didn't look like even the actor playing him understood what he was doing. It's like he just read the script and said, okay, I'll do that, I guess. I'll figure out what I'm doing now. And, yeah. He's the only problem with this film, and my mom and my brothers say that he was the best part. Me, I say, okay, you can think that. He just didn't seem real. And for a true story, that's the worst thing that you could possibly have. So, as I said, final verdict, it was a good film. Not the best, but it was still pretty good. It definitely is deserving of its 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. I completely agree with that. There's good elements, but nothing great. It's not bad for a first-time directorial debut. Not great. It's okay. Was it worth seeing in theaters? Yeah. There's a lot of scope, and there's some really bad green screen effects, but they do give you the sense of grandeur of what's going on as far as the war and whatnot. So, yeah, I'm glad I saw it in theaters. Full price? Probably better to wait for a matinee. If you can get to a matinee, or like in my town, when it goes to the cheaper theater, that's probably the better bet. So, yeah. That was Unbroken. I'm hoping to see at least Into the Woods and get that video out here soon. So to all of you who are actually subscribed and watching, have a Merry Christmas, and I hope that you actually did watch this on Christmas, because that means that I managed to upload it fast enough. And see you all next time.